Alex, it's Watford away on Monday for the final match of the season. How are preparations going?
Yeah, fine. Obviously, I think it's a long time between QPR and Watford now in terms of the game being moved to the Monday. So yeah, gave the lads a sort of few days off. We've been back in training and obviously getting ourselves ready for the game. 5
matches unbeaten away from home. Do you feel as though the current makeup of the squad's better suited to get results away from home?
Well, I certainly think that results suggest that. I think when we do go away from home, I think teams are much more likely to come out and try and beat us. I think it leaves us more space to then sort of play into, which suits the sort of current personnel that we've got. But listen, we're fully aware that obviously next season we want to improve our home form massively, and if we can continue with our away form next season, then that will certainly be a good basis for us.
If you were a fan who'd gone to those away games in recent weeks, how would you assess those performances?
Yeah, pretty good, I think. I think there's a couple. You know, Birmingham was a bit of a flat game. I didn't think the pitch was particularly good in that game. But when I cast my mind back to Swansea, Coventry, all the type of games, I thought our performances were very good in the games. I think we've been sporadic, haven't we? You know, I think our away form has been relatively steady. I think our home form has certainly been poor. And we want to try and readdress that. You know, we know that's going to be an important factor next season.
Talking of the supporters away from home, how impressed have you been with the travelling support and how they've got behind you?
Brilliant. You know, I think that, yeah. And I think a lot of our best days have been on the road, haven't they, this season? So that's been pleasing for them. But yeah, I think the support, even in games where we haven't really been at it, and we maybe haven't performed as well as we like, they've been a great voice. I think even the Cardiff game probably comes to mind where Jack Bonham saves a penalty. You know, the reaction to that, the reaction after the game to the players, I thought was really good. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that.
Following the game on Monday, attentions will quickly turn towards the transfer window. How do you go about using that time to build a squad for the long term?
Yeah, it's going to be an ongoing process, isn't it? You know, I think that obviously there's been a lot of discussions, a lot of investigating, a lot of scouting, a lot of meetings happened up to this point. Obviously we've got the most important meetings coming up with the players that we've got that are out of contract in the summer. The lads on loan, that obviously whether they're going back to their clubs or they've got an appetite to do something potentially in the summer. So I think the conversations will really shape what we do next, because what will happen is once we've had those conversations and we understand where people are either going to go or not go, then it gets to a point that it gives us an outline of what we've got left in terms of what a squad looks like, and then the gaps that obviously we need to go and try and fill and make sure that our recruitment's sort of as good as it can be.
From the moment you joined the club to now, do you feel as though you put some building blocks in place for the future? Yeah,
I think there's a lot of things that we wanted to try and obviously address off the pitch. I think on the pitch, I think that our recruitment in January and our basically resolving the FFP issues, I think were two big, massive sort of things that needed addressing. I thought our recruitment in January was good and sort of was a building block in terms of some of the really good performances that we did put in just after January. I think probably February, March time. Unfortunately lost some of the players as well through injury and different things, and also I think consistency in terms of making sure we've got more strength and depth throughout the squad. So they're all the bits that we'll need to readdress in the summer. But I think if you look at a lot of the stuff that's been done, I think this season was always going to be transitional, and hopefully come the start of next season, like you say, we can start putting some key pillars in that are going to be here for a number of years, rather than what's happened probably over the last 2 sort of seasons, maybe 4 windows, where the squad's been getting churned and churned and churned around. I don't think that's good for any squad, you know, so we want to try and have some real sort of longer term consistencies there.
Going into that window, how important is it to add some flexibility and variety within the squad?
Yeah, I think that's something we've lacked, you know, but I think by design in the summer, certainly speaking to the lads who were here, and even speaking to Mike himself, that they basically recruited to play a 3-5-2 shape, which is fine. It isn't necessarily the shape that I like to play. So yeah, there was a lot of things we need to readdress in the January. The difficulty we had was who was available and when they were available. So really, we've done our business literally in the last couple of days of the window, due to obviously sort of FFP reasons and different things like that. So yeah, we were limited in time, and I think that we've done a good job based on how much limited time we had. And now obviously come the summer, we'll be in a better place that we can readdress some of those issues.
How excited are you by the challenge of being able to shape the squad within your image?
Yeah, I think that as a coach, wherever you go anywhere, what you want to do is get the tools that you feel you need, and then be accountable for what happens next, you know, and I'm really quite comfortable with that. You know, if I haven't done well enough, then I think it's something that you take in the chin. I think that obviously when there is different dynamics that we need to resolve first, then that naturally puts a blocker on a bit of progress. I think that we've cleared the path, shall we say, a lot of the time this season. I think that Marko had been doing that previous to me coming in as well, in terms of dealing with certain situations, and I really do feel that come the summer we'll be in a much better place as a club, pretty much on and off the pitch, and hopefully we can try and then kick on.